turns on your career path. For the purpose of this discussion, our focus will be on the second part of the definition, which is on navigating all the ups and downs, twists and turns on your career path. Developing career resilience, I would say, is very important so that we can build confidence in taking on and succeeding in challenging situations that we may face in our careers. It involves perseverance, being able to adapt well in the face of challenges that you face, and also succeeding in the end. If you are a person of resilience, you are confident that you are going to succeed eventually, despite the setbacks or failures. Now, about some of the examples, the challenges that we face in our careers, the first one on my list is family-work balance. Combining work life with family life and maintaining a balance. I can definitely identify with this. I mean, wanting to be a good mother, wanting to be a good wife, and also be the best in what I can be in terms of my career. And you agree with me that as human as we are, we don't always get the balance right. Some areas we get the attention more than the others. And oh my God, the guilt that comes with it of doing that. And you begin to ask yourself, am I really doing the right thing? This is even especially a challenge when you don't have the support of your family or your spouse. It becomes even more. And this can discourage you from going higher on your career ladder, or even you miss up opportunities that could come your way. The second, with family commitments,
I think we've lost the sound a bit.
have you lost the sound?
Now we can hear you. We can hear you.
Hear me now?
Perfectly fine.
Someone
yeah, we can hear you now.
Calling. Is it okay now?
Yeah, we're fine now. Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry about that. Maybe some internet issues. So the second point I want to talk about is lack of self-care. It could also be a challenge. With family commitment, job commitment, we don't even make time for ourselves. We don't take a break. And many a times, I mean, many women will agree with me that we make time for everything, for everyone, apart from ourselves. That's something we also have to bear in mind. Being heard is also another challenge that we could face. Sometimes we can feel that we are not being heard, especially when you are working with people with really strong opinions, whereby their opinion is what matters, and this could discourage you from putting out your thoughts. Fitting in, figuring how to be part of a work culture can also be sometimes frustrating. So for some of us from the African heritage, the way we talk, the way we carry ourselves about, the way we behave, sometimes just fitting in to be part of the culture in the office can be a struggle a bit. And sometimes it could put you off and you might not want to even go ahead with what we want to do. We all know we are human, so we make mistakes. And can you still hear me? I think I'm having problems with the internet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So making mistakes, as human as we are, we all make mistakes, and sometimes it could reduce our confidence. But that shouldn't be the case. So we should all know that it's one of the things that could happen. But yeah, it's normal. Feeling overlooked. Knowing very well that you are capable of a role or a position, but sometimes there could be a belief that you may probably get pregnant along the way as a woman, or probably you might not be the best person for that position because you're a woman, or maybe you're not tough enough. So, and you really know that you're capable, but all these things could be a frustrating challenge for you because you are a woman. And these are some of the things that we also face. And also not believing in ourselves. I think we can be our own obstacles. Not having the self-belief that we are capable of achieving greatness could also prevent us from also moving forward. We should have that belief because you know what? If you don't believe in yourself, who else will believe in you? You need to believe that you are capable. Then somebody will also have that faith in you and give you the opportunities. Now, how can we adapt well in the face of all these challenges? These challenges will not go away. You agree with me on that one. It's part of life. So we need to find a way of adapting and not let them stop us from achieving whatever we have purpose in our hearts to achieve. We need resilience. Definitely, we need that. How do we develop resilience? How do we boost resilience in our lives, in our careers? I would like to touch on 6 things. The first thing I want to talk about is positive mindset. Anytime I talk about positive mindset, my husband Frank comes to mind. We need to be
Definitely.
optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to be optimistic, have positive outlook on life. We should try and find good, you know what, despite negative challenges that we face. Having the ability to switch the focus of our attention to include the positive can really be a powerful strategy for us in overcoming challenges. We should also give ourselves permission to feel grateful and make an intentional, deliberate effort to tune into everything that's good in our world. Okay, we should focus on what we can change and not bother about things we have no control of. I've got this principle that I work with. It's not always easy, but I try. When I have a challenge or I have an issue, I ask myself, Jane, what can you do to resolve the issue? If there's something I can do, trust me, I'll do everything to get it resolved. If there's nothing I can do, then why bother? Because at the end of the day, I can't do anything about it. So, as women of faith, then let's leave it to God. That's it. The second thing I want to talk about on boosting our resilience or developing resilience is we have to be prayerful in our approach. It's very important. Let's commit whatever we are going through to God. Let's remember the words of Isaiah. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Let's have faith and trust God to get us to our desired goals. In trusting God, we should also remember God's character and who He is. He's faithful. He's the Lord of our banner. He's our strength. We should remember His promises, His covenant. He is a covenant keeping God. And He said He will never leave us or forsake us. So if we believe His word and we believe that His word is true, we should remember that everything will work together for our good, whether good or bad. We should trust God is in control. He's powerful God, all-knowing God, and let's remind ourselves that He who has begun good works in us will definitely bring it to a completion. We should also
Jane, not to cut you on there, but just to remind listeners that this is Women in Ministry, and today we are looking at career resilience. You know, having that staying capacity in our careers in order to climb up the ladder, in order to achieve something. And our guest speaker is Jane Arko-Tharkor. I hope you've been enjoying it already. We have been, Minister Audrey and I have been, and I'm taking notes. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and please get in touch with us on 07308 980156. So 0044 980-156. Then we are live here on Supreme Praise Radio. So Jane, sorry to cut you on this.
No problem at all. And the third point I want to also mention is we should get social support. It's very important that we speak to family, friends when we're going through issues. Colleagues with similar experience who can actually share their experiences with us and how they overcame it. It's always said that a problem shared is halved. So speak to trusted people. I'm not saying speak to everyone, but people that you trust, that will guide you, that will show you what they've also been through and then how they overcame it. Speak to like-minded people. I always encourage women to do this. I've had this personal experience whereby I've spoken to people where they've told me, oh, Why bother yourself, Jane? Just stay home. Just take care of the kids. Your husband will support you. We do everything. Yes, but I also have my dreams and aspirations. Before I had children, I knew what I wanted to be. Children are blessings from God, but that shouldn't prevent me from actually going after what I want to become. So speak to like-minded people who encourage you. Speak the truth to you without discouraging you. You should also be self-aware. So self-awareness. When I talk about self-awareness, I'm talking about knowing your strength and how to use it. God has equipped us for every situation. I heard someone say something the other time, which I think was very profound, and I'll share with you. She said that when God was creating the universe, when God created the bird of the sky, at that time, there were no electric poles. There were no electric poles. But God knew that some years to come, there are going to be electric poles. So he insulated the feet of the bird. So when the bird stands on an electric pole, it will not be electrocuted. So if God has really done this for a bird, I mean, can you imagine how God has equipped us? He has prepared us for every situation because he knows it all. He knows that we're going to go through that challenge. So he has prepared. We just need to know that is it. It's going to happen. We also need to take care of ourselves. If you really want to do well, you want to progress, you want to be resilient, then you need the strength to be able to do it. Eat well, take a break, exercise, be happy. With a sound mind, you will have the ability to think and to make good judgments of unpleasant situation. If you want to have the ability to face challenges, then you should pay attention to your well-being, and your mental health especially is really, really, really important.
I do know that you do exercise a lot, Jane.
I do exercise, and I'm really busy. But you know what? I find time because I know the importance of having good health. I know the importance of putting yourself first, making sure that you're healthy, because sound body counts with sound mind.
Yes.
So you need to have. So I always try. I make time to exercise at least 3-4 times a week. Go to the gym or have a run because I enjoy running. So it's part of my lifestyle now. That's what I do. Yeah. So it's a good thing. So I will suggest or recommend to everyone. So the next section will be about pursuing excellence and career progression. The first thing, which I think is very important, is we need to be clear on our vision. Be clear on your vision. A clear vision, okay, will point you exactly what you want to be in life. It's about, let's put it this way, seeing a big picture and all the parts that make up the big picture. By having a strong and clear vision, you can keep focused and have the energy to stay true to yourself. Ask yourself these questions. Where do I want to be in the future? What do I want to accomplish? What is the destination that I want to arrive at? How does the destination look like? Why do I really want to get there? Why do I want to get there? And when do I want to get there? Knowing your destination will keep you traveling on the right road. And even if you go off track, you get lost or something, like you'll be able to reset and get back on track. Also set goals and plan to achieve them. Once you know what you want to accomplish, set goals and plan to achieve them. Develop your timelines and milestones to achieve your end goal. You need to have deadlines for goals that you set for yourself. My husband will always say that goals without deadlines are only dreams. It's good to dream, but you need to wake up at some point to take steps to make it a reality. That's what you need to do. You also need to stay focused. That's my third point, and be consistent. Consistency is important in every area of our life. It's not only career. Everything you do, the more consistent you are, the more you become better at it. So anything that will serve as a distraction, just make sure you take it out of your way. The challenges, be resilient and do your best to overcome them. Don't relax. Many a times we start something with so much energy and enthusiasm, but with time, it fades off. We should try and be consistent in our approach. We should also seek God in our doings. Commit our ways to God. You know what? We have our plans, but God also has got his plans for us. So you have your goals, you have your vision, you have your timeline. But as Christians, as women of faith, I will encourage you just to commit your ways to God. Allow God to guide you. He knows tomorrow. He knows your way, and he can surely lead you to where you should be. Because he lives, we can face tomorrow. And with that belief in us, it gives us so much boldness and confidence in our pursuit for excellence. In order to do all these things, definitely we need some resources. If you want to progress in our career, we need some resources that will help us climb up. And one of the things I want to talk about is mentors, or someone you look up to. It is very, very important because you cannot achieve excellence in isolation. It's important to have an inspiration in our lives, someone who has been on a similar journey, learn from them, how they did it, how they overcome the challenges they face. We will be able to achieve, we will not be, as I originally said, we will not be able to achieve excellence in isolation. We need mentors. We need the people to inspire us. So it's very important. Also, at work, many a times, one of the things sometimes we struggle with is understanding workplace politics. You need to understand the culture because you know what? Climbing up the ladder, it's not, you will be probably the best person that you can be, you know your job, but you need to understand the politics within the environment that you work with. Build your network at your workplace, make connection outside of your immediate team or department. Don't just limit yourself to just your team. Go out there, outside your team, know who to liaise with on various issues. Be strategic in your approach. You need to be brave, not a coward. Develop your soft skills because when it comes to office politics, it's all about interpersonal interaction. Know who to speak to, know when to speak, and also know when not to speak. It's all very, very important. And also be seen and be known for excellence. And put yourself out there. Even you have not been called to anything, to do anything, just volunteer. Let people know what you are capable of doing. Have a great attitude to work, great work ethics, build healthy relationship with your colleagues. And also the fourth point I want to mention is take advantage of company training programs and resources. It's very useful. And in your company, even if you don't have those programs, take personal responsibility in your development. At the end of the day, it's about you. So you have to invest in yourself. You know where you want to go. Stay up to date by taking online courses if you can. Enroll on professional development workshops. Attend industry conferences. All these things that you do will increase your confidence and help you to get where you want to go. Family is also a good resource to use on your journey. To provide advice and support. My husband has played a very significant role in my career success. There's no way I could have achieved what I've achieved so far without him. He has been very supportive. He's been honest with me. Sometimes he tells me the things probably I don't want to hear, but he's just being honest with me. And you need someone who will be honest with you. Even if the truth hurts, someone who will encourage you. And then that will also help you on your journey. Also, the final point I want to mention under this section is build allies and a professional network. Have a strong professional network. Identify other professionals with whom you worked and seem to have good relationship with. Be proactive in reaching out to offer help, even before somebody asks you for that help. Don't only think about yourself or don't wait to be asked first. Put yourself out there. Demonstrate integrity. Be honest, trustworthy, because in every relationship building, there has to be honesty. And the same thing applies to when you're building your professional network. Follow through what you want to say. Follow through what you say you will do. All these could help you build great allies who will be able to support you on your journey. I'll be ending very soon. I have spoken about resilience and how we can develop it. the resources that we need to help us to get to our end goal. And I would like to end this talk by saying that as women, we can be whatever we want to be, whatever. We just have to believe in ourselves, be resilient, develop ourselves, and believe that although the path to our end goal may not be easy, we are more than capable of making it. This is because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Thank you so much for your attention.
Wow, awesome. What can I say? Quite loaded. You've touched on a lot of things, and I have a few questions. I think your first 4 points were about personal skills, developing the personal skills for career development. So you spoke about some of the things that, frustrate women in the corporate world. It's not being heard, inability to fit into the corporate culture, feeling overlooked, low self-confidence. Obviously, if you're not being heard and you're unable to fit into the corporate culture, you will have low self-confidence.
Yes, one believes the other.
Knock on your confidence. You wouldn't want to speak. You wouldn't want to put any ideas across. So, but I think we do these things successfully at home. How can we transfer our personal skills at home into work? Because we take care of our children, we manage our children's times, we have all the ideas, to manage our children's, our husbands and all that, but when we get into work, we kind of seem to metamorphose into something different. How do we transfer those skills? Because we've got them.
Yeah, definitely. We have got them. And what I would say is, when you are at work, definitely you need to, where you are working, you know the environment very well, and you know the people you work with. Okay, invest in knowing people. So first, as I said the other time, previously, having that interpersonal skills, because when you go to work, it's not only about going to work. Okay, I work and I'm coming home, work home. No, you need to build relationship. That's the starting point. You need to build a relationship. Because if you build relationship, as you build relationship, you get to know people and how to relate to them. Because if you don't know someone, how would you know how to relate to them? Okay. You might even say, let me use myself for an example. I remember when I started working, I used to work at a bank. And then, back home, when a woman puts on weight, it's considered as well-being. You're doing well. And without me knowing the cultural difference, and I saw this lady and I said, oh, you put on weight, you're doing really well. And then she was offended. Brutally, she was really offended. But for me, I thought I was just being nice because that's my interpretation of wellness, and that's what somebody told me. So you just need to know the people, and then you get to know all these cultural difference when you start speaking to people. So that's the point. So start, because one thing I've realized is, with our we as women or those with Black background heritage, we tend not to be interested in other people's things that they do. It's all about us. So try and just figure out, know what people do. So when you get to know who they are, what their interests are, then you'll be able to tap into that and engage well. And as you engage well, that's where the fitting in comes in. You have to start from somewhere. You engage well, they figure out how to go about things. I'm not suggesting that just be something you don't want to be, but it's all part of relation building. So as you start fitting in, you getting to know them, you fit in, they try to just buy your ideas. And also being heard, one of the things I really also suggest is that, sometimes there are people at work who that, anything they say, people will take on board because of who they are. They are like the Obo people there. So if you've got any ideas or anything, you try to develop a relationship with these people, because you know that once you get to know them, once you want to establish anything, if you go through them, they'll be able to actually push it forward because they have that sort of ability within that work environment. So it's always important that always start with relationship. At home, we have a good relationship with our family. That's why we're able to do what we do. We're able to manage, because your husband, you know your children, you know what they want, you know when they are not happy. Why did you know that? Because you got to know them, you built relationship with them. So
we need to
integrate. We need to integrate and not only limit ourselves. When you go to an environment whereby you've got foreigners, you've got Africans, don't limit yourself to only Ghanaians or Nigerians. No, expand your territory. That is it, you expand a territory and then you get to know them. And with that association going on, that will help you. And all these things, it's kind of like a knock-on effect. You start one, it leads to the other, and it goes on. There's not one, like in isolation. You can't do one and achieve everything. You start from somewhere, and it goes on and on. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah. And I think the fact that, the icebreaker could be a conversation about children.
Yeah.
You have a teenage girl. Oh, do you have a teenage girl? Oh, I also have a teenage girl. And then a conversation starts from there.
Yeah.
So I think it's good for us to open up at work so people know who we are beyond our job titles.
Exactly.
Know who we are, what we stand for. Are you a Christian? Stuff like that. So that, we can have conversations in the canteen, conversations when we go for days out, and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's very true.
Just shielding ourselves from any relationship. And I think they see it as well.
Yeah, they do.
They see it and they feel like, oh, you're not friendly. So just keep it formal. Yeah.
And one thing I've found is that normally when you talk to people and you integrate and then you realize that you have common interests.
Yeah.
You have common, because one of the things, I like Formula One a lot. I like tennis. And then when I go to work and sometimes it comes up, we start talking about that and I engage in that conversation. People say, oh, Jane, so it's not only about you like F1, and we start talking about that and boom, that's it. People just start talking to you and they come to you. If maybe they watch a race, the next day come to work, we'll just come over. So how was it? How did you find it? And the conversation begins and you are building that relationship. So if anything comes up, if there's an opportunity, because of the relationship they have with you, and they know that you have the ability to do what you're doing. But at the same time, you have that outside kind of relationship. You have something. It's not only about work. There's something fun about you. You know what I mean? And then they can also recommend you. So it's very, very important to have that integration in that relationship. Yeah.
What a wonderful insight, Mr. Jane. Can you see my notes here? I know see my notes, but I've almost written a book here, listeners. I'm trying to be like Sister Eva, very soon. Isn't that Sister Eva? I've been writing a book, believers. We thank God. Just to remind you again that we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and also Supreme Praise Radio. And you can be part of this live conversation by contacting us on 0730898056. Sister Jane,
hello.
I want to ask something.
Okay.
Sister Eva asked a very good question. And before I come to my question, I want to add something to that discussion. I think sometimes we are timid.
Yeah.
That is a very big problem for women as an individual. Confidence. We are very limited. We limit ourselves. We don't realize how much we are capable of doing everything. And we meet certain individuals and we allow that individual, the surroundings, intimidate us. So we've got so much in us that Sister Eva said it's just a simple conversation about a teenage child.
And that's
just break the ice, say something. There's no need to be timid about anything or anyone. Whatever it is, you have what it takes to, get in there and also do what you're capable of doing. You might not be able to do it all, but there's something in you that could do a little somewhere that will lead you to do bigger things. So it's just an encouragement I want to add.
Yeah, I want to add something to what you said has brought something to mind. You know what? When I started working here in the professional world, one of the challenges that I was facing is about language, our accent.
Yeah.
Because many a times when I speak, people wouldn't hear or understand because of the way I pronounce things. And that will prevent me from speaking at all. So when we go for meetings, if I have anything to say, I'll keep it to myself. I will not open my mouth to say anything, to make any contribution. And that wasn't doing me any justice, because you get to say something for people to know that, okay, what you're capable of. It's not about being given a task and just going on with it. Sometimes speaking out for people to know your thoughts process is also really helpful. So this can also be because I realized that I wasn't speaking. I wasn't involved in conversation, because you know what? At the end of the day, if I speak, probably they might not hear me, or maybe they might laugh at the accent. So I feel a bit intimidated too. But now I'm so over that. I mean, I'll just speak by God's grace. Yes.
I want to ask something. If you can advise, there are other women who have achieved everything that you've spoken about this evening. They are very resilient when it comes to the corporate world. But they don't have the balance of living that life in a place where it's supposed to be lived, and also coming to reality of life relating to people, if I may say, on a normal basis. So it's very difficult for these individuals to relate to people who do not work in the corporate area.
Because they are higher or something. Is that what?
Yes, they... Let me put it this way. I like that word.
You're too corporatized.
Very corporatized. So it's very difficult for them, although they try, but yet you see that maybe this individual needs some home training to find the balance, knowing that you're part of a board or a panel and you have to speak your mind. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can speak your mind across the table to CEOs and heads of companies and all that. Means that you have the right to speak to. And that balance, where do we find that balance? As women, because most of the time it leads to a lot of distractions in our life. An example, it's keeping a relationship, because you become boss of your own.
With your husband.
Yes, because you're dealing with people higher and bigger than your husband at work, or the men or the women you see outside work. So you see them and you feel like it's all right for me to handle them this way. Where do we find that balance?
I would say, and then I've gone through that process. I'm still going through. So personally, what I would say is that, you know what, in terms, I'll start addressing from relationship side of things. You can't be a boss in your own home, but when you in your workplace, but when you come home, just acknowledging that definitely there is also a boss, your husband. Okay, your boss, your husband doesn't mean that you have to belittle yourself. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is that sometimes we have to learn how to engage and talk to our husbands, because sometimes there's so much pressure at work, and then when you come home and you don't speak to your husband or whoever you are with to let them know what's going on, that pressure can actually push you or just separate the two of you. Because if you don't talk about it for them to know what's going on, your reaction could sometimes lead you to act in a way without them knowing. So personally, what I've normally done in the past, and I'm still doing, is that whatever I'm going through at work, I talk to my husband. And also, most importantly, where I think I'm not doing much, I acknowledge, I said, know what, Frank, it's hard. It's very busy at work. And I know that I am not able to do A, B, and C. Please, I need you to support me. I need you to do this. He's more than happy to. So it's that kind of engagement and opening up and letting them know that you need help. You may be the boss at work, but you still need help. You are one person. You can't do everything. So it's to build that relationship and to make sure that things go on well at work and at home. Know that you can't do it all. You need that support. So when you are home, when you are at work, be the boss. But when you come home, put that hat down and work with your husband, because you are not the boss there. That's one thing. And also in terms of relationship with other people, looking down on them because you feel that, okay, I'm the boss here. I've got this position. So, well, I can speak my mind to you. I think it's more of when people find themselves in a certain position, they have this perception that they cannot learn anything from somebody who's lower than them. People have got this perception that, okay, because of where I am and where you are, what can I actually learn from you? But that's not true. No matter your level, you can learn something from someone. So it's about perspective, having that perspective, having that perception that even though you are there, you still need somebody who is below you. And that engagement helps, because you can't be always safe. No, you have to be free, you have to be flexible. You can't always be dealing with people at the level, high level. It's exhausting. Sometimes you have to chill down, calm down. And it doesn't mean that those people below you are nobody. No, because they've got something to offer. Everybody has got something to offer. So always putting yourself in a position whereby you think, okay, for me, I'm up here, but you know what? I think I can still learn from Mr. B and Mrs. B, Mrs. C, because they got something, even though they might not be where I am, but there's something that I need in my life that they can offer. So it's having that mindset that, you know what, even though you are there, you don't know it all. I think it's important, because many times we see ourselves that, okay, we are there, so you know what, we don't need anyone. And I think that's a wrong mentality. We need to realize that, we can actually get something, learn something from somebody who is below us, or who might not be at the level that we are, and don't look down on them. That's all I'll say.
I think personally, situations like that show a sign of poor relationship management.
Yeah.
Because Paul said somewhere in one of his letters that I became all things to all men. The quality of adjusting our relationships to suit the demand is a very strong quality. It is the perfection of relationships. So if you get stuck in one relationship, and apply that to every relationship in your life, that is poor people management.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work, because every situation has got what you have to do to deal with that situation. So you can't apply one thing here and the other. No, you can't do that. It has to look at the situation and see, okay, what merits it, and adjust. Yeah. Yes. Definitely. Yes. That's it.
So yes. Well, it's going great so far. Listeners, we've got some comments here on YouTube. Ama Akomaya Bua says, hello everyone. Goals without a timeline is indeed just a dream. Powerful revelation. Thank you. Thank you, Ama, for the comments. Thank you for listening every time. We love you so much. Jane, I there's something, that I want us to talk about. Parenting, family life. I think one thing that really restricts women from pursuing that career is children. And I think this is a good platform for us to say that it is good to plan how many children you want to have. It's good to plan ahead. It's good to have that discussion, because these are precious lives that need to be taken care of,
catered for.
These are precious lives that need time, that need love, that need that affection. So if you can manage one, be happy, be pleased. Don't feel guilty about yourself. Don't listen to others And I think there's this culture, I mean, where African women just say, oh, have more. Oh, have more. They'll go
I had that.
Have more. They go together. I think it's something that should not be encouraged. And to start with, no one should tell someone else
how many kids I should have. Or I should have a child.
So I think we as women need to take charge, you know, of how many children we want to, you know, give birth to. It's in order. God has given science the grace to produce, you know, help. So
much as we want.
So
yes, absolutely.
Let's plan it, okay? So that, you know, you can enjoy your life, because our children want healthy mothers. Our children want mentally sound mothers. It's a shame to have 10 children and be a resentful mother.
Yeah,
you're always resenting them and not be happy. You know, you rather have as much as you can handle, so you can have the life that you want to live. Yeah. I'm not saying be selfish. I'm not saying put yourself first, but I'm just saying that please plan it. Please plan it. And
I agree with you on that.
It's expensive to have children. You need to have the quality of life that they need in this generation. It is money, it is time, it is love, it is affection, it is prayer. You see, it is prayer. So I think our women out there, please have this conversation with yourself, with your spouse, you know, because we want healthy families. Women in ministries, we want healthy families that are healthy, that are strong, that can pray together and raise godly children for the future. So that's just what I want to add.
I want to add also something to what you said. So we should also know that, you know what, we bring these children up into this life, as Eva said, and we have to make sure that we can actually take care of them. We shouldn't be having them sick because I want to have 4 kids out now. We should think and plan about how we really want to make their life better, because these children that we are bringing, they are looking up to us. And our lives that we're leading now, they are actually watching, because we teach you children on how to do certain things, but there are things that we don't even teach them. They observe. They see your life as a mother, and they see what you're doing now. That do really inspire them. Do you actually inspire them? Would they say that, okay, mom is doing this, so maybe what mom is doing, this is what I want to do, or maybe I want to even be better? How does your life inspire the kids? So you have to really make sure that whatever you bring to this earth, you are able to actually take care of them. I have that pressure. I have only 2 girls, and I'm so happy. God has blessed me with 2 beautiful daughters, and I have the pressure of having more. But me and my husband had already talked about it, that this is what we want to have, because we know how difficult it is to bring a child up in this country, especially for some of us who are career women who wants to work. So you have to take our children for childcare, and you have to pay so much. So if you have to really give the best out for your children, then you have to actually plan and not just go because of pressure. And speak to your husband, because some men might want more. But at the end of the day, you have to have that conversation. It should be both sides. It shouldn't be because of what he wants, but it should be what both of you want. You should be able to discuss this and arrive on a conclusion whereby it's amicable and both of you are happy with it. It shouldn't be one way, because at the end of the day, it's coming through you. It's your body. So that discussion needs to be had. Many a times, Christian women, submit yourselves to your husbands, which is good, but there's certain, doesn't mean you can't say anything. It doesn't mean that you can't contribute. It doesn't mean that if you have a concern, you can raise it. You should be able to do that. So yeah, I think it's very important that we open up to these discussions and then know what we want, and then go with it.
Yeah, that's
amazing. Amazing.
And how do you deal with, Jane, you spoke about how much Frank has been a support to you. And I know that because I know the kind of person Frank is. What do you say to women whose husbands are not supportive? So you come home, he started a conversation about, you know, a bad day he had at work, and he goes like, in fact, you need to tell that guy your peace of mind. You know, you shouldn't let him treat you like that, or you shouldn't why do you shouldn't let them treat you like that. You know, you need to tell them your peace of mind. You need to a very kind of negative, you know, non-constructive advice.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Yeah. So what I will say, from what I would like to say is that, as we are all Christians, women of faith, the first thing is just to pray about it, because sometimes you could be with a partner or a husband who doesn't actually understand what you're doing, doesn't understand your vision, your goals. So sometimes when you talk to them about certain things, they cannot actually relate. They don't understand your environment. So they don't even understand that the fact that if they tell you to go and speak your mind, they don't know even the consequence that could happen. So it's a matter of committing them to God. The first thing, I've learned to do that. If there is an issue that you think you are not getting the support that you need, okay, it might not be that, it's not the case of your husband is being mean, or maybe he doesn't understand. So you pray about it and talk to them. Communication is always a really good thing. Let them know how important this is to you. And then let them also know that when you talk to them about this, you want their support. You don't expect them to, these things that they are saying doesn't really help you go on anything. At least, even if they can give you some word of encouragement, even it's better than telling you to go and then just tell anything to your boss. That's not a great one. So at least if they can't do anything at that other side, I mean, they have no control of your boss, then they should do something with you, talk to you, encourage you, say something that could actually boost your confidence, something that could propel you, drive you to go on or to go through, even if it's a scripture or something that will encourage you. That's what I would advise. And you have to talk to your husband. If you don't talk to them, they wouldn't know that's what you want from them. So from their side, they will think they are being helpful. So just go, just tell them their mind. Why are these people bothering you cry like that? They might not understand. So tell them, sweetheart, these ones that you tell me, these things, they are not really helpful. It makes things worse for me. I really want, just be open and then talk to them. And I think if that conversation is hard and they know where you're coming from and they understand what you feel, they'll be able to give you that support that you need. Yeah, that would be what I'll say.
How do we celebrate? You mentioned something, Jane, that I'm thinking about. Women, we don't know how to celebrate. We either do it and do it out of hand, or we keep it and we keep postponing. We tend to procrastinate our success and don't celebrate, but we do great things. We achieve a lot. And sometimes we don't see this because it doesn't come on a flag of a rainbow. But to even have a child is an achievement.
Oh, yeah.
To finish an online course, 6 weeks online course with a child is an achievement.
Yeah.
To be able to do the school rounds and go to work and come home and do the cooking and keep a clean house, a sound mind, and able to assist your children to do their homework, it's a great achievement.
Yeah.
But we don't see this.
We don't.
Because we don't see it, we don't celebrate ourselves. And it affects our mental state. It affects our emotional state. And it affects most things around us. How do you advise women out there who are career women, mothers, wives, that don't notice their hard work, their great success, and yet they have never, or maybe have not thought of celebrating? How did we do that? How can we do that?
Well, what can I say? You know what? Just
we've lost Jane's line. Bear with us, listeners. Stay well until Jane joins us again. What an awesome time.
I know. Yeah, and I think these are some of the things that as women, we have a lot going on in us. We have a lot going on through us. Yeah. I think if we stack up all the positives, we'll know that actually we are good enough to be where we want to be.
More than good enough.
We are good enough. We are very, very, very able, to be where we want to be.
Listeners, thank you so much for staying tuned with us. We have learned a lot. Personally, I have learned a lot. And as I said earlier on, that we need to acknowledge the hard work we're doing as women and celebrate. Celebration doesn't necessarily mean you need to, organize a grand open party, but acknowledge yourself, give yourself a clap that you've done something good. It doesn't have to be an extremely huge thing. As Jane said, that make an opportunity to celebrate your success. We are still live on Facebook, YouTube, Supreme Praise Radio, and you can also be part of this live chat and discussion on 0730898056. You can also post your questions and Jane will be happy to answer you. We will have our next broadcast very soon, and we have something special for you. And look forward to it. Christmas is around the corner, but in November, we have great topics to come and discuss. We have wonderful ideas to come and share with you. And we look forward to that because you're always precious, and we're looking forward coming your way to discuss great things to empower you as woman, a career woman, a wife, a mother, minister of God, and a gatekeeper within your community. So look out for our next broadcast, which we would inform you further closer to the date. Keep your questions coming in, and we will surely send you an answer through Jane.
Beloved listeners, we hope you've been blessed. Thank you for the comments. We've had a comment on Facebook from Mr. Korea Boache, which says, nice show. Thank you so much, Mr. Korea Boache. Thank you for listening. And we know you always listen to us. We appreciate you so much. We've lost Jane for a minute, and we're trying to get her back on. So definitely, we should get her on in a few minutes. But if not, what a blessing it's been tonight to just talk about, how to move on to that next level, how to get ourselves positioned. To excel in our careers. And as Jane said, plan and see into your future. Okay, we go through phases where things get very difficult, where you have sleepless nights, baby sickness and all that. Have that staying power. Have that staying power, and don't quit. And don't quit, because it will be just for a few moments, and things will change. So please have that staying power. just a few final words from Minister Audrey, and then I will come back to you.
Wonderful. Thank you once again, our blessed listeners. We have had a great time sharing our platform with Jane and learning so much from her. I believe you have learned so much and you will be empowered. You are already empowered, but this will also empower you and you'll become very powerful in all the things that you aspire to do. You can do it. So go out there and do it. You are capable. Take the first step and excel in all that you will do.
So great. We've got Jane on again. Awesome.
Again.
Yay. Awesome. So Minister Audrey has to leave us for now. So Minister Audrey, we love you.
I love you more, my dear sister. Sister Jane, I love you too.
Oh,
and what a pleasure. What a pleasure. I think I'll have to come for one-to-one.
Oh, thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Well, Jane, one last question for you before we go. One last question for you, please, before we round up the program. You talked about having a plan in mind.
Yeah.
Talked about having a plan in mind, and sometimes we are quite apologetic about our goals. Yes, and I think it's because we are taught not to be overconfident. So I think we're quite apologetic. So growing up, if you want to be a doctor, you say, "Oh, I want to be a nurse," because you think being a doctor is a bit too high. So you say, "Oh, I want to be a nurse." But whether the person really wants to be a nurse or not, So can you talk to us about, being definite in what we really want for ourselves, and even having that time to sit down and say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do with my life. Apart from being a mom, apart from being a mother, being a wife, this is what I want to achieve with myself, and be proud about it, and not be apologetic about it,
Yeah. So I will say that if you really want to set yourself your vision, well, you are more than capable of doing that. My recommendation would be to have a vision board. A vision board will tell you about your journey and how you want to get there. And actually, you don't have to share it with anyone. It's your vision and it's yours. Okay. So if you're going to tell someone and somebody's going to discourage you or maybe not support you, you don't have to. So have a vision board. And there are so many areas of your life that you can focus on your vision board. Career is one of them. Family is one of them. Health is one of them. I'll use myself an example. I have a vision board with my family, with my husband. So every year we go through and review. We've got different areas: community, support, wealth, career, family, health. So for instance, if you want to become, for the purpose of this discussion, if you want to become maybe, you are now an assistant project manager and you want to become a senior project manager, for instance, you ask yourself, you have to sit down, because this is not a one-day thing. It's something you need to plan with time. So you ask yourself, how do I get there? And when do I want to get there? Set yourself a timeline, because you know what? Once you set yourself a timeline, that will drive you, that will push you to get into where you want to be. Because if you keep it open, okay, I want to become a doctor or I want to be this, and you don't actually plan what you need to do to get there, then you will not get there. So it's always important to have that thought, okay, this is what I want to be, and be sure about it. And also asking yourself, how do I want to get there? When can I get there? So setting yourself a timeline. So even before, on how to get there, if you have to pick an online course, if you want to maybe speak to somebody who's an expert in that area, even at work, if you want to shadow someone.
Yes, we are listening. Yeah. Oh, I think we've lost Jane again. All right. Oh, no.
Limit yourself to.
Oh, good. Jane,
I want to be this. I can't. No, don't limit yourself. Just make sure that you do that.
We lost you for a couple of seconds.
Did you lose me again?
Yes, for a couple of seconds. I know. The internet is just being awful. But
yes.
I think it's been great. Yes. Finish the point you were making, Jane, and we'll round up.
Yes. Yeah. So I was saying that, don't limit yourself. Have a vision board. You can dream as high as you want. When you have your vision board, then put down a plan, what you want to do, how you want to get there, and when you want to get there. Because if you have a target and you have a plan, that will propel you. If you have a timeline, that timeline will help you to get to where you want to be. If you have a target and you don't plan, you don't give your time a time scale, you will not get there. And you have to do something to get there. You can't just say, I want to be this, and just sit down on your, no, you have to do something about it. So if you have to take an extra course, if you have to talk to somebody who is a specialist in that area, even if at work, if you have to shadow somebody who's already doing that work to learn from them, these are all the processes that you can go through to achieve your goal or to make your dream come true. Yeah.
We've got a question coming in, and someone is asking, can the guest give us a bit of a detailed approach how to achieve timelines, please? Because many people put things on vision boards and don't really
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I've lost you.
Oh, all right. Anyway, we've gone up to 6:20.
No, I can't hear anything. I've lost you. Oh, this internet.
Well, that's good. Listeners, I think we need to on here. Thank you so much, Jane. We can't thank you enough. It's been priceless. Thank you for the insight. Thank you for the positive vibe. Thank you for the experience you've shared. I think we'll just reflect, and go back to our drawing boards on our dreams and aspirations and pick them up.
Shame.
Beloved listener, thank you so much for listening. Till we come your way again, please share the platform, share the audio, share the YouTube page, share the Facebook page, and let someone be encouraged. We can do this together. Thank you for listening once again. This has been me, Eva Tano Yeboah, and with Minister Audrey. Lots of love to you. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Cosmopolitan Weekend Show. Tune in every Saturday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. as NYG brings you music, news and interviews. Start your weekend in the presence of God with worship and the word on the Cosmopolitan Weekend Show. Available online at www.supremepraise.com.